So, hello.
Hi.
Hello there.
This
General
is...
Kenobi.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes. General Grievous. General Kenobi, whatever.
Someone says hello there.
Yes.
You must respond. General Kenobi. Yes.
Yes. So, we are talking about part 2
Part 2.
of the miniseries.
And Curtis, you watched part 2 of the miniseries and then was like, I really like this. I'm going to watch the whole first season.
Well, you couldn't just leave it. I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah.
But when it's available for viewing,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
might as well take advantage.
Might as well.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. It's like, it's all there.
Yeah. Very interesting so far.
Interesting, he says.
Yes.
You've met Crashdown.
Crashdown? Yes.
Sam Witwer.
Right. I now understand what you guys meant by Mr. Baltar being like Julian Bashir.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
Yes. With ambition.
I mean,
Yes.
it's like
It's
almost the same character.
It is.
Except, more ambitious or
Got
whatever.
ambition.
And this, well, he's like a little more frantic and out there. Like,
You know,
Well, because
he's seeing someone.
He's seeing things.
right. It's intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Most intriguing.
Okay, so we ended the last part 1 of the miniseries with dun dun dun. Looks
Right.
like
Looked like a 50 megaton, yeah.
Yeah, Apollo died, and oh my gosh. And he's not dead.
He's not dead.
It was that thing Apollo pointed out when he got on Colonial 1.
So, between last week and this week, I watched part 2 with the audio commentary. That was, in Ronald D. Moore's mind, that was a joke about technobabble explanations to get out of situations in Star Trek. But no one else got it. It was just a joke to him. But he still kept it in. Like, testing people didn't get it. The higher up execs didn't get it. They just kept it in. He thought it was funny.
Nice.
Oh.
I guess it's funny in a ironic
Certain
way,
context, yeah.
They survived.
They survived.
And
Well, the joke, I think, fails to land, especially when Lee actually explains it. He's like, I did this thing, and then blah, blah, blah. And then Laura Roslind's like, just don't ask questions. That's what I've learned from this. It's it doesn't land.
gotcha.
I don't know.
Okay, so they survive. Rosalind decides that, okay, we're going to gather up
People.
all of the survivors and their ships and try to put together a big fleet.
Convoy.
Yeah.
convoy.
While the commander, he decides that, no, we're going to go restock because we're all out of ammunition.
Well, they didn't have ammunition.
Yeah.
They were about to be decommissioned. They weren't running around with nukes and missiles.
Yeah.
Right.
So they set for, what's it called?
Ragnar Station.
Ragnar Station. So
You have to hand calculate a hyperlight jump.
Hyperlight.
Or hyperlane.
It's hyperlight for sure.
It
Soon
might
to be
hyperlight.
replaced by
FTL.
FTL.
They just kind of drop it.
Yeah.
It works out.
I do enjoy the camera work in this, at least, for the FTL jump. Or
The
or
zoom
like,
out.
whoa,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Which they
vertigo
also
effect.
dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yep.
So while all this is happening, Boomer eventually joins up with the fleet, with the convoy, and she brings Gaius Baltar on.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how he eventually becomes a part of it. And while they are trying to get as many ships, there's what a Cylon raider comes in. It's like on a scouting mission, and it sees that all these surviving human ships are all getting together.
Easy target.
Yep. And Apollo is like, hey, we should probably get out of here because we should take whichever ships that can do the jump, the FTL jump.
Oh yeah.
That have.
Let's get to what the Ragnar station, meet up with Galactica.
Which
And
means they have to leave people behind,
Mhm.
including the little girl.
The
with her
little
teddy
girl
bear.
with her.
Or was it a teddy bear?
It's not a teddy
Is it
bear.
a
It's like a
bunny?
doll
Oh, okay.
thing. It's got long hair.
Yeah, she was on like some planet that had a jungle.
The ship had a jungle.
Yeah, the ship
Yeah.
was. It's like the. It's like
Cloud
the ship
Nine.
that that shows up later.
Hmm.
The presidential.
Cloud9.
Yeah, that thing.
Okay. Yep. And so they jump away. While this is happening, I think she reveals to Billy that yes, I do have cancer.
Dun, dun,
And he was like,
dun.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. he
I
kinda
figured it out. You know, you were being weird.
Yeah. All this is happening. Galactica is at Ragnar Station. They're trying to resupply. They send a boarding party in, and that's where they come into contact with Leoben,
Right.
who is
He has allergies.
He does have
Yep.
allergies.
Yeah.
Well, he is allergic to the radiation that's killing him.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yep. He tells them that he's a
Arms dealer.
He's a
arms dealer.
gun runner. Yeah. Which he might have actually been before Cylons decided to kill everyone.
Maybe. Yeah. We're never really told if he was like a sleeper agent at one point or not. It was just,
Well, Boomer was.
yeah. Hey, spoilers for the end.
Oh, the end of part 2.
Yeah, the end is kind of dramatic, I guess.
A little
Dun,
bit.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So they're trying to get all their weapons and everything, and Leoben and a commander, they get trapped at some point behind a door.
Yes.
I forget what
Yeah,
happened.
something
It-
falls.
Like an explosive falls or a missile falls, and it goes off in a fairly poorly edited sequence. It looks really cheesy if you pay attention to it. And it blows up a door and melts it shut.
Right. So they can't get out, so they
Right.
have to go around, and
This.
around becomes a very long trip.
Yep.
Leoben keeps having more allergies.
Right. He's starting to lose all color in his face.
Yeah.
It's looking a little,
Some good makeup work.
yeah.
Oh, I liked the explosion goes off, and then Commander Adama just starts laughing.
Oh, does he?
Yes, he's on the ground, like, just starts laughing when he wakes up. Or comes
He
back.
forgot what it's like to experience a good explosion.
Yep. He was a Viper pilot.
Right.
Yeah, so Leoben is trying to lead him around. As he keeps getting more sick, Adama, he's already pretty suspicious of this, and it's eventually revealed that Leoben is, in fact, a Cylon.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
And then it's weird because he's looking like he's dying, but he's still got all that Cylon strength, super strength.
Yeah. Well, it's like destroying his neural pathways, not his muscles.
Oh, right, yeah. Let his fighter instincts kick in.
I would assume as an organic, he would still have adrenaline.
Right.
With his superior Cylon strength, would still be a formidable opponent.
I'm assuming that most of the Cylons knew that the metal Cylons, the Centurions and those, probably knew that they couldn't go into that nebula. So then,
I
why
don't
did
think they knew.
They didn't know? Okay.
I don't think they necessarily knew because Commander Adama's or Leoben's like, that's why you put a
Yeah, realization.
Yes, he realizes this is why you put a munitions supply here
Okay.
as like a fallback position.
Sure.
Yeah, and then they talk about whether or not his consciousness will actually get transferred because of the radiation and all
Right.
that stuff.
And then Commander Adama beats him to death with a flashlight.
Yep. There's lots of blood.
Yep. Yeah.
Then what?
I think the civilian fleet gets there.
Yes.
They all just kind of converge
Yeah.
perfectly in time.
Well, the Galactica was there for a while, so not exactly converging on time.
Well, they were resupplying for a while,
Yeah.
but they
That's
were
what I'm saying.
they were just about ready to leave by the time they got there.
Were they?
Eh,
They still had to get the commander out, so
Yeah, well,
they had most of the munitions loaded, but Commander Adama was still in the station.
yeah, at some point, what's her face? Crazy face. Starbuck. A single Starbuck, not multiple Starbucks.
Ha. Ha.
That's all Allie can talk about when we watch the show. She's like, "Oh, I want to go to Starbuck to get my coffee."
She does realize that that name came from the 70s, right?
I
The
know.
original Battlestar show. Had a
We're
character
both
named
aware,
Starbuck.
but it is funny in a silly
in
way.
an alleyway.
Yep. But yeah, so they send her on a reconnaissance mission up just to take a little look around.
Right? And she tells Lee that she passed Zach in basic flight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the big reveal.
And that he shouldn't have because he couldn't actually fly that well. Rest in peace, Zach.
Turns out to be a plot point later in the show.
Incredible.
Wow.
It just keeps carrying through, Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
So they realize they're surrounded.
Right, there's 2, 3 Cylon base stars, something like that. A whole bunch of raiders.
Yep.
And the commander, so he eventually does come back and he brings the body of Leoben back. He's like, do an autopsy on him. Figure out what he is or whatever. He says he's a Cylon. Figure out what are the differences or whatever.
Right.
And so President Rosalind has Dr. Baltar become the chief scientist or the chief Cylon scientist. Cylon
Right. He's the Cylon expert now.
That's it. Yeah.
Handy.
Handy.
Mm-hmm. So he's like trying to figure out the differences while also having...
there's the moment where Colonel Ty and Commander Adama bring him in, and he's having to pretend to realize stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying he was a Cylon? What?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he's going and figuring stuff out.
Then eventually the number 6 is telling him that I might have put a microchip in your brain while you were asleep, and that's why you're seeing me.
Oh, that's right.
He's
Yeah.
freaking out a little bit about that.
Oh.
'Cause doesn't he scans his brain.
That's in season 2.
That's in season 2?
Pretty sure. Curtis, have you seen him get a brain scan yet?
No.
And it's in season 2
Okay.
because I
I've
just
seen-
watched the episode.
I've seen him like, it'll take me 60 years to get through these blood
He's got all the
samples.
It's so great.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
President Rosalind eventually meets with the commander because she's trying to convince him that maybe we shouldn't continue the war.
Right.
We should
War's
just-
over. Let's run.
Yeah, let's run.
Right. War's over. They keep telling him that.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't... he's a little apprehensive about it, but he eventually does kind of concede.
I think he should have stayed and fought.
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They didn't have the Cylon transponders to fake being Cylon ships yet.
No, they just had one to get them tracked
Right.
all the way to the Ragnar station.
Oh yeah, did we talk about when?
Doral.
Yeah,
That's more towards the end, but
number 6 does point out to Baltar that there's a
right.
weird thing on the ceiling
Cylon
in
device.
the CIC.
no one noticed that.
Yeah.
He's
And
like, I want to tell someone, but I can't tell someone because then they'll know that I know things that I shouldn't know.
Yeah.
So I've got to find a way to tell them without telling them that I know that it just keeps going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good old Gaius.
Gaius Baltar.
Gaius Baltar. Good guy.
They do eventually do the autopsy on him, and they discover that he's pretty much human, except for like what are the things that like aren't exactly human? I don't.
It's just
really
like chemical
remember.
compounds. They said there was a difference.
All right.
Which, why were they able to tell in this miniseries and then have to use?
Because they needed the plot to go somewhere different in the actual series, Curtis, so they kind of just retconned it.
Retcon.
It's pretty minor, all things considered. Because if you think about it, he didn't actually swab Doral to find him out. Like, he didn't actually compare any chemical substances. He just kind of talked out of his butt there.
Oh, right. And just happened to be right.
Right. I was going to get there. Like, he points the finger, and it's just like, yep, he's actually Cylon. Huh. That worked out.
Yeah.
Maybe God guided his hand, Curtis.
Ah, that's a good point. Right.
God works in a mysterious
Where on this
way.
facility should we bomb? There. Okay.
Right there.
The math checks out.
Yeah, the math checks out.
It worked out now, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Cool.
What happens next? So they eventually do arrest Doral, and they're
Right.
going to abandon him on the station. And he's like, "I'm not a Cylon. See, I'm not getting sick. I don't know what you're talking about."
It will take several hours for the symptoms to manifest.
Yeah. So they give him some food
Which-
and water.
Once again, talking out of his butt, but he's right.
Yeah.
We just can't take that chance.
Right.
Close the door.
Oh.
Poor guy.
So they're getting kind of ready to leave. Starbuck, she does a reconnaissance mission at one point, and she lets them know that there's the big fleet that's out there, and they need to get ready for a jump.
All right. They come up with a fantastic escape plan
Yep. Fly Galacta out first.
to shield the civilians from...
Do this, and the ships.
Right. They'll be hidden
Yeah.
because they can't jump.
from within.
Uh,
The radiation messes with their jumps. I think Gaeta has a line about that. I mean, Gaeta.
right. Yes.
Mr. Gaeta, Gaeta.
Well, you
We're in
know.
the miniseries. He's Gaeta.
Yeah. I like Mr. Gaeta.
Mr. Gaeta.
Yeah. Allie doesn't like it because it sounds too much like Data from Star Trek.
Well,
Ironic.
there you go.
It's almost like Ronald D. Moore had something to do with that show. Weird.
It is weird.
Well, they're going to leave. All the ships are starting to jump out while all of the Galactica's Vipers are fighting against the
Raiders.
Cylon Raiders. They're shooting. There's big battle, explosions. Apollo goes out there. He's firing. And then he gets shot, and he can't, like, move his engines at one point.
All right.
So all of the ships are able to jump away, and he's going to be left out there because his engines don't work. So Carthrace Starbuck comes out of nowhere. It's like, "You're not being left behind." So she flies her ship into his ship and pushes it back to the Galactica.
The Starbuck maneuver.
Yep.
They also repeated the line from the first part. What do you hear, Starbuck? Nothing but the rain. As all the debris is hitting
Oh,
her
right,
windshield.
right.
Oh, I just remembered that.
So they do a jump to the Prolmar sector.
Oh,
Beyond the red line.
beyond
Yeah.
the red line. Well, no, she's pushing Lee back in, and he's like, "We're coming in a little hot, don't you think?" No. she makes this great expression. It completely sells it.
Nice.
Nice.
They get in. They go beyond the red line because it's uncharted space,
Right.
and there they go. They escape.
They're away.
So after everything's kind of calmed down, they decide, okay, we're gonna have a little kind of funeral service, a little memorial.
So say we all.
So say we all.
Yep.
Yeah.
The commander is trying to fire everybody up, get them ready for this long journey ahead of them because they know this isn't the end.
It's not.
It's not the end for humanity. And
We will find Earth.
yes,
I know where it is.
I know where it is.
There's no Earth.
Hey,
President Rosalind calls him out on it. Yikes.
I just like it how he's like the higher up admirals all knew about it.
Yes, it was the highest guarded military secret.
Yep. The 13th
The 13th colony.
The 13th colony. The Lords of Cobol.
Doodaloo. Right.
Yep. And Rosalind's like, the president didn't know where Earth was. You don't know where Earth is.
Let them believe in something.
Yep. So they give them kind of the meeting, gives them something to push forward for.
Yep.
And I think
So,
close to the end there.
yeah, when everyone breaks out cheering at the end, like after he says we'll find Earth, that was completely spontaneous. Like the director had been told he should try and get them all to cheer, but then they just all did it before he could even like direct them to do that after the first take.
Nice.
It's kind of neat.
Well, that's cool. So they're Adama and Rosalind meet the commander and Rosalind. They decide that okay, you're gonna run Rosalind's gonna run the civilian side of things, and Adama the military, and
Yes.
he can make final military decisions.
Yes. Military decision. Yes.
Yes. A lot of Empire stuff here.
And then she says something else.
Does she?
Yeah, I thought because his final line in that is "I'll take it under advisement" to something she said. Maybe it's about keeping Earth secret. I don't remember.
Maybe. But right as I think after she leaves, the commander finds a note.
Oh, right,
his
there are
room.
12
It's-
Cylon
there are
models.
12 Cylon models. So who left
wrote
that?
the note?
Who wrote the note?
So as it goes, the intention was for it to be Gaius Baltar, but I know for a fact that all the way until the end of the show, they had the intention to wrap up that loose thread, and they never did.
Oh.
They-
That's disappointing.
They got to the series finale, and that was one of the few things left on the board that they didn't wrap up at any point, and they didn't.
Interesting.
So there is no answer.
Have you learned anything from the Battlestar Galactica podcast that you listened to?
That
about
information.
That information.
Yes.
Interesting.
They talked to Ronald D. Moore
Ah.
on several occasions.
Very interesting.
Actually, I started reading there was an interview with Ronald D. Moore, and then he started talking about further down the line. I was like, oh, no, I can't read
You
anymore.
can't read
No.
anymore.
And then I started reading about the guy who did the music for the show.
Bear
and he
McCreary.
started to talk about season 2 and beyond. And I was like, I can't read anymore.
wow.
So, but they told him that he couldn't write themes, like different themes for different characters.
Interesting.
And then he kind of did it anyway.
Yeah.
And they were like, you should use the Starbuck theme for this section, kind of like poking at him. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Great music.
Yeah, the miniseries ends with Doral on the Ragnar Station, the door opens up,
Oh, yeah.
and all
Yeah.
the Cylons walk down the ramp. There's the Leobans. There's some more Dorals, so you know he was actually a Cylon.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's-
And then...
But before that, number 6 is talking to Baltar.
Oh, I forgot
and
about
it's
this.
like there are possible sleeper agents within the fleet.
Oh, right.
There
That
are.
sets up
Mhm.
when Boomer walks down the ramp. Or 8?
I think she's
7?
I think she's an 8.
Whatever. That number that she
Oh.
is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
It's pretty dramatic.
It's pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
I also had the pleasure of watching this episode, or the first part of the miniseries, with John Ford. And he pointed out that there is a point when the CAG who dies says, "Okay, Boomer." John Ford wanted to point that out.
That's nice of him.
Yep. That one's for you, John.
Yeah.
Do we have to bleep out his last name?
Nah. He doesn't care.
Well, yeah, it's a good setup for the actual show. I think.
And what do you think of the actual show thus far?
It's been good. I was talking about the music before. I had to look up who wrote this music because the main credits sequence at the start of each episode is very weird.
Oh,
No, that's season 2.
that's season 2.
Yeah,
Season
season
one-
1's different.
Season 1, I guess, the theme music was based on some Hindu theme, which is why it's like weird singing stuff.
It does change.
Oh, it does.
So I think you're thinking of later season.
maybe.
Yeah.
And then
I do remember the singing. Yeah.
Well, I think the singing does stick there, or like it's a different part.
Something.
It's goofy. It's goofy. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and then I was surprised that they left in like the explanation thing at the start of every episode, like man created Cylons,
Oh yeah.
or whatever, and then they resisted or something. It feels like Quantum Leap, where they explained what Sam Beckett was doing at the start of every episode.
Right, but then you get into the actual episode of Battlestar Galactica, and it's a
Yeah.
continuation of the story of last week, and
Right.
keeps building. And all right, Curtis, there's a season 2 episode called Black Market. Skip it.
That was season 2.
Yeah.
Man.
Skip it.
Well, you probably shouldn't actually skip it, but it's.
Yeah.
Eh.
Is it a
Ryan,
low point?
it is a low point. It's
Uh-oh.
a self-professed low point from the
Oh,
showrunners.
Uh-oh.
I think wait. Is it the one
Ryan,
was I talking to you about this episode?
We discussed it briefly, yes.
Okay. I think I don't know. I really just dove into the whole series and watched it as much as I
Binged
could.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
That's what I did the first time.
I don't quite remember every episode specifically.
Another interesting note is that I started on 33. I didn't watch the miniseries first.
Oh.
The first watch through. So that was interesting.
Yeah, we talked about that and I was like, you must have been really confused.
I wasn't that confused. Like, the previously on tells you enough to get you into it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was definitely parts where they would show things from previously on, or even during the opening credits, and I'd be like, "Where's this from?"
Of course.
Felt like that Community Clips episode.
Yes. Community clips.
It's a great episode.
Oh, right. That reminds me, for whatever reason. Are we observing a moment of silence for the postponement of the release of Halo Infinite? No? Okay.
Whatever.
Silence.
Sound of silence using silence.
Yeah.
We just sit here for 3 minutes.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, maybe not the right thing. It hasn't died.
It's not dead.
Did they delay it?
Till 2021.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all the information we got. We don't got a part of the year. I assume it's going to be fall, given the full extra year of dev time.
So what are you going to play on the Xbox then? The new Xbox?
The same things I'm playing now.
Oh, okay.
Has Ryan played either of the Red Dead Redemption games?
No.
Oh,
We're good.
I was going to say we could maybe review one of those someday.
Good.
It'd take forever.
It would take forever.
So much horse riding.
So you did not partake in fast travel?
Is there fast travel? Oh, there is, but it's kind of limited, isn't it?
It is limited,
Yeah.
and I prefer not to anyways.
Yeah, because you can come across random people and
Shoot them.
shoot them. And then
Get shot.
sometimes get away with it. Depends.
What do you mean sometimes? I always get away with it.
Well, somebody sees it, and then they're running off, and
And
then
then
you have
you
to kill them.
kill
and then
them.
somebody sees that one, and it's just like a never-ending cycle.
Well, that's why you lasso the first guy instead of killing him.
Right, lasso.
Legendary all skulls on. Halo reference. Bringing it all around.
Well, I'll keep watching Battlestar.
Okay. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to talk about next for Battlestar.
Right.
All right. Suppose that's wherever Curtis winds up.
Yeah.
Right now, you've finished season 1, yes?
Right, season 1 is done.
Adama got shot.
Right, yes, yeah, that was a shocker. Well, yeah, no, it was a shocker.
Yeah. You didn't see that one coming now, did you?
No, not at all. Because you thought that...
Boomer was going to regain
Boomer.
her humanity.
Right, because she blew up like 1 million of her own copies or whatever.
Right, but she also met herself 5 times. That was weird.
Yes, they were all talking to her.
Yep.
Yeah.
We will always love you.
We love you, Sharon.
Yeah.
This got real strange.
It was also convenient for Boomer that the Raptor or whatever didn't have a window on that side of the ship, so that her counterpart couldn't see all these copies just hanging out there.
You got to give him a few conveniences.
They parked the Raptor perfectly.
Perfectly, yeah.
What else happens in the first season?
They find Cobalt.
They do find Cobalt.
That's right. And doesn't... Wait.
No.
No.
At the end, Gaius and
No.
what's
Okay.
what's her
I think I
face?
know what you're talking about with Crashdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that season 2?
That is season 2.
Okay.
Starbuck has like a breakdown when she sees Boomer when she's going for the arrow.
Oh, right.
It's like her side. She abandons everyone to go find this arrow.
Right. She found the Arrow of Apollo.
Yeah.
Oh, we passed over my favorite moment in the entire show is when Commander Adama says he'd never leave if Lee was down on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
It brought warmth to my cold dead heart.
Oh, nice.
If it were me, we'd never leave. It's like,
Oh.
And then he beats the crap out of him when they're boxing.
Well, yeah. They're boxing. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I guess.
The fight isn't until season 3.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I like that one.
So is there any serious decline in quality as the seasons go along?
I think season 4 is less good than the first 3, but it's not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ryan, you've watched Lost, right?
Some of it.
Okay. Well, the vibe that I'm getting from Battlestar thus far is kind of like Lost, but in space.
I guess.
Just with some of the weird, like, unanswered questions, like random things happen, and it's just
most of that's answered.
Majority of it does get answered.
Well, I think in Lost, like 70% of the things that happen.
More than
get
70.
It's
in
more than
Battlestar.
70.
Okay. Okay.
I'd say a good 95.
90 to 95, somewhere in there.
So if you ever want to watch Lost and all the bonus features and everything, there's a super box set for like $460. It's like
I'm not giving JJ that much money.
it's like 20 discs.
It's not worth it.
It's a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
I don't
Look
even
at all
own
that-
Community
That
on
high
Blu-ray.
definition.
Yeah. High definition Lost.
High
I've got
definition.
high definition
bonus
Battlestar
features.
Galactica.
High definition polar bears on tropical islands.
How did it get there?
How did it get there? They explain it in a bonus feature. Well, actually, it's explained in the show, I think.
Really? What was it?
I can't tell you. I'll ruin
Oh.
it.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch it.
I'm
Oh.
never going to watch it, so you might as well just tell me.
Well, there were
Spoiler alert
Yeah, geez.
for the 15 people watching this.
Yes. They eventually find like these weird scientific laboratories or whatever kind of scattered across the island. And in watching these old tapes that were left there, they figure out that these scientists were conducting experiments on like polar bears and humans and all this weird stuff. And so there's this polar bear cage. So obviously the polar bear must have escaped.
Okay.
Ah.
And it was giant. It was like monster polar bear.
Was it as big as the zombie polar bear in season 7 of Game of Thrones?
I wouldn't know.
Ryan's considering.
I'm trying to remember
Trying to remember the lost polar bear or the zombie polar bear?
both
Okay.
because
That really clears it up.
because it's been a long time since I watched The Lost Polar Bear, and I've done a decent enough job at not remembering season 7 of Game of Thrones.
I wish I could remember season 7 of Game of Thrones, or season 8 for that matter.
Like I remember the majority, but it's just like some things just kind of.
So they went beyond the wall, and then they got attacked by a zombie polar bear.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
It happened. The two red shirts died to it.
I just remember, what was that? Like, it was a photo perfect moment where Jon Snow is in the middle and there are all the other people standing side by side.
Oh,
And then there's
you're talking about when Daenerys comes in, or right before that?
I think it's before that. It's when they're going out there to try to capture a White Walker.
Right.
Like right when they start
Oh,
and they leave
the photo,
the
the
wall.
when they exit the tunnel.
And then there's
The photo perfect moment.
and then there's what's his name? Baratheon. Not Baratheon.
Right,
Who's
because
like
he's
the
Waters.
lowest level.
Gendry,
Yeah.
Gendry Waters, technically,
Yeah.
right? He's a Waters.
It's either Waters or Rivers. I'm never sure.
Oh, right, it is Rivers. They said Waters incorrectly in season 8.
Okay.
It's supposed to be Rivers, I think.
So they had a Starbucks cup, and they said his name wrong in season 8.
They did a lot
They
of
did a
things
lot of
wrong
things
in season
wrong.
8. Curtis.
What were they thinking?
I don't
They
know.
also left water bottles in, like,
I heard that too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
sloppy.
When-
Didn't even try to.
I think my favorite meme out of that was then taking a picture of the Council of Elrond. You'll notice here that there are no water bottles because Peter Jackson actually gave a damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
And look, Sean Bean.
Yep. And Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Good old Sean Bean. I'm a big fan of him in Return of the King.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of him in Goldeneye.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm a fan of him in National Treasure. Because he didn't
he
die.
didn't die.
Oh, that's a good point.
He
One
got
of
sent to
these,
jail.
one of these
Yep.
decades, they're gonna bring back the National
Please,
Treasure.
no.
Oh yeah.
No.
Are they finally going to answer about
Page 47.
page 47?
Nicolas Cage has been on a 13-year journey trying to figure out what that page was about.
Movie pans up. It's the middle of a dense jungle in Brazil or something.
Yep.
And it's just him. He's living in the trees. He's basically Tarzan. He's like, I'm
What-
living down here until I figure this out because
What,
it
has he
led me here.
carved the number 47 on the wall?
Yes.
Or on the tree or something?
Yes, some tourists are walking through and they see this 47.
Oh,
and he's
boy.
just stalking the tourists.
Oh man.
Please send me a check.
Yeah.
When I went to Washington D.C. last summer, I was seeing everything. I was like, that was a national treasure. That was a national treasure.
It's almost like they put a bunch of monuments from
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. in National Treasure.
Yeah.
Huh. Who knew?
Good stuff.
Curtis, what do you think's going to happen next on Battlestar Galactica?
Well, in my one random, I think while looking up the Ronald D. Moore interview or something, I saw a picture of Commander Adama in with like a walker. So obviously he survives. Noah's face. Yeah.
That's why I asked the question, so I could make the...
I'm also intrigued because, Gaius obviously was doing the blood tests, but wasn't telling people whether or not people were Cylons. So that's got to play a big role into. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you got to wonder.
Curtis, was Ellen Ty a Cylon?
I'm anticipating that she was, but what do I know?
What?
Because number 6 distracts him. She's like, was she a Cylon? He's like,
I'll never tell.
I'll never tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm an instrument of God. And he looks
He is
at
an
the
instrument
camera.
of God.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's a cool show. Just wait until Rolaren shows up.
Okay.
Yeah, she shows up.
She does.
Rolaren.
Yes.
From Star
From
Trek.
Star Trek, The Next Generation. She was a
Ensign
Bajoran.
Rowe.
Oh, really?
Ensign
She
Rowe.
shows up in this?
Yes.
Oh. Is this like her first acting job in 10 years since
I don't know.
Mhm.
Star Trek? I guess I don't know of her work. I'll have to look it up.
Not sure.
What do you think of Hot Dog?
Hot Dog. Hot Dog died, right?
No.
No.
No?
Flat Top died.
Oh, okay.
What if we told you
Don't tell me. Don't do
that?
it. That was
That what?
ridiculous.
What was ridiculous?
Starbuck, like, you're nicknamed Hot Dog.
Yes. It's his nickname.
Starbuck is interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait until she meets a pyramid player.
Okay.
It's the next episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe 2 episodes. It's very soon in
very
season 2.
soon.
Yeah.
Gaius Baltar becomes the vice president
Yes.
randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Terrorist Man.
Tom Zarek.
Yeah.
Tom Zarek's a great guy.
Tom
I don't
Zarek
get why
is
people
great.
don't like him.
Well, he I have mixed feelings about it. I should say.
He remembered season 4.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Now I remember.
Oh, I gave away season 4.
No. Just don't think about it.
Don't think about it.
Just keep watching.
Objection. Sustained. So you can't remember what they just said in the courtroom.
Right. Curtis, do you remember what we told you last week? What was going to happen in season 4?
Nope.
Okay.
I have a very poor memory.
That's all right. I can't wait to come back to it because I do remember what I told you. So once you get to the end of the show, I can bring it back up again.
I remember Ryan saying that he had mixed feelings about how it all played out or something like that.
That's true.
And then
So
you
do I.
guys said the movies aren't necessary but helpful.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Ryan, you watched The Plan?
I still haven't watched The Plan.
Okay. I would say watch it.
Okay.
do I need to watch the movies?
Watch it in the order that it's on Peacock.
Sure. Well, it doesn't like place the movies in there, does it? I don't think
Does it
It'll-
place Razor in there?
Yeah, it adds
okay,
it
then
as
it's
like
fine.
an extra episode in
Oh.
like season 2 or 3,
End of 2, beginning of 3?
I think.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere in there.
Or maybe it's the end of
Because-
3. I forget when
Yeah.
exactly.
Because when I first searched for Battlestar Galactica,
Battlestar Galactica.
I couldn't find the miniseries on Peacock, so I was going to ask for the DVD set back.
Oh, okay.
But it was just down. I had
Right.
to
You
go
gotta
down further.
go down further.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it should just keep watching it in the order that it's given, and
Yeah,
it'll
Razor
play
should
it.
be in there.
It'll play it when you should watch it.
okay.
Yeah.
I wish Peacock had, the feature where a little button just appear that says skip intro, and I could just click that, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm fast forwarding, and
Yeah.
sometimes I have to rewind. It's like a VCR.
A little bit.
Annoying.
I just watched the intro to things. I haven't skipped a Deep Space Nine intro in years.
Have you skipped a Voyager intro recently?
When's the last time we watched Voyager? Probably to watch that episode with Aaron Eisenberg in it.
And we did skip it because I asked.
Oh, yeah. That's why. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have.
Huh.
Well, I
Interesting.
don't skip intros, really. I'll just watch it. Whatever.
Okay.
I do skip Clone Wars intros. Sorry.
Why? It's so short.
It sounds like
Yes.
a ripoff of Star Wars. All right, so there's Lucky Charms, and then there's the store brand. To me, the Clone Wars intro is like the store brand of Lucky Charms. It's just off.
Oh, interesting. That's one way to take it, I suppose.
That's me.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Good discussion.
This has
Meandered a
been-
little bit.
Yeah,
That's okay.
that's all right.
Like and subscribe.